Good morning, my name is Dominik Krasowski and I would like to present to you the HRV system that I've installed in my own home using components from the ECS Piotr Paroszewski company. We are currently standing by the very heart of the entire system, which is the A300 heat recovery unit, a recuperator equipped with both an ionizer and a smog filter.
Steel pipes 200 millimeters in diameter are connected to the heat recovery unit. They are insulated with an aluminum sleeve and mineral wool approximately 8 centimeters thick. A PTC heater is also connected to the recuperator, which is specifically designed to significantly enhance user comfort and also to effectively prevent the entire unit from freezing during operation. The complete system is expertly managed by the advanced NanoColor 2 controller. This is a really excellent controller, very clear, clean, and incredibly easy to understand, and it also has a quite elegant appearance. Throughout the entire dwelling, a comprehensive system has been installed, featuring 6 dedicated air supply ducts and 7 separate air exhaust ducts. The channels through which the air from the expansion boxes is routed are 90 millimeters in diameter. Those were suggested to me during the project's design. The project, of course, was also purchased from Mr. Piotr's company. The pipes with a diameter of 90 millimeters are intended to be significantly quieter and considerably more efficient when compared to the 75 millimeter alternatives. Most of these installations, of course, are located overhead. Currently, Darshi, it's resting on an unheated and uninsulated ceiling slab, but that's going to change very soon. We'll be putting in 25 to 30 centimeters of styrofoam and then a screed on top of that. So I think that will be quite enough to insulate the entire system. The main challenges I encountered during the installation of this system were primarily the expansion box gaskets. 2 of them ripped. What I had to order an additional set to connect them, and their installation can be problematic. They can fall off, they can get pinched when assembling the box or drop, which forces us to take it apart and reassemble it.
But it's not a huge problem after all. It can be annoying sometimes. The second biggest problem I encountered was routing those steel pipes from the air intake and exhaust, as well as the supply and exhaust ducts, because despite a fairly clear, transparent design.
Well, you can't foresee everything, and the project had envisioned a slightly different way of routing these steel pipes than what was actually possible to execute in reality. So I had to approach it a little bit by trial and error, and to design it as we go along. But generally it is doable. It's not something that corners us and blocks the entire project's completion.
I will be presenting the final result to you on the upper level, so please, I invite you to come upstairs with me.
So, I welcome you all to the very top.
Up in the attic, where the largest portion of this entire installation is actually located.
So, without further ado,
over there, we have the air intake. At this very spot, we have an exhaust vent installed. Based on the design specifications, they are positioned at a significant distance from one another. The requirement was for a minimum separation of 3 meters, but in reality it's considerably more. A several % slope has been implemented here, so that any accumulating condensate, if they accumulate now, so they have the possibility of freely flowing out, not getting into the recuperator. Here, steel pipes connected by rings, screwed together, screwed with bolts and all completely sealed with rubberized tape in order to minimize any potential leaks
and to effectively dampen any vibrations that might otherwise be generated. The pipes are of course also encased within protective insulation. Sleeves, specifically mineral wool insulation, also approximately 8 centimeters thick, secured with cable ties so that they would fit tightly. They are routed in such a way, well, because the design of my house, you see, it kind of specifically required that, so the heat recovery unit had to be positioned on that particular wall, and this somewhat complicated the entire air supply system. Here, these two rather large pipes that you see are actually the mufflers. They are also insulated. Here, if I remember correctly, there's quite a bit more wool. I simply had about 10 or 15 centimeters of wool, so I just wrapped them because I simply had that material readily available. Everything is also secured with a zip tie. They've been pressed down firmly, and I believe they are quite well insulated. Here we have a pipe which is designed to lead directly to the air expansion box, or more specifically the supply plenum, which will be responsible for blowing fresh air into all of the various rooms throughout the building. These are the pipes that deliver air to the diffusers. So these are the 90mm ones. So we opted for this particular pipe diameter, primarily because it ensures a much quieter operation and offers superior overall efficiency. The pipes, as you can clearly observe, are currently laid on an uninsulated ceiling, but as I previously mentioned, everything will eventually be covered with polystyrene, plus a screed layer of approximately 5 to 7 centimeters. Alright, so in this particular instance we have two anemostats that are delivering air into the rooms. And over here we've got the exhaust air diffusers. The main distribution box is also situated quite close to the exhaust air box. What was important to me was to ensure that these pipes wouldn't protrude, making it simple to easily conceal them within the styrofoam. The system overall is quite straightforward to install. It's modular in its design, and it generally doesn't present any significant problems. Perhaps the only minor exceptions are those tiny little gaskets that occasionally try to slip out or sometimes tend to deform. I've actually had to adjust them a few times to get everything just right. Well, apart from that, I haven't really encountered any major problems with the installation. With the assembly of this system. In fact, I'd even say that putting this system together, assembling it, is truly satisfying, and it's quite pleasant, straightforward, and I really do recommend it. I recommend everyone try their hand at the fun of recuperation for themselves. So, I believe that's everything I wanted to say from my side. I hope the HRV system is installed correctly and professionally, and that it will fulfill its role and improve the comfort of use in my own home, and that absolutely everyone will be completely satisfied with this system. Thank you very much for listening.
Best regards.